And hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your NFL guru, Neal back here with Week 6 predictions. So let's just recap. Week 5 predictions were pretty good. Called that upset. The Steelers to beat the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Said Le'Veon Bell would have a game-winning touchdown, which it happened. Also said Larry Donnell would have a big game against the Niners, and he got the game-winning touchdown against the Niners as well in that Sunday Night Football game with the Giants and the Niners. So it was also a pretty good overall week. Now it's time for Week 6 predictions. Here we go. First of all, we got Thursday Night Football. The Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. A 5-0 Falcons team at a 1-4 Saints team. Guess what? Who Dat Nation shows up. I am picking Drew Brees and company to pull off the upset and start this Week 6 on an upset. The Saints win this game. Willie Snead has a big game. CJ Spiller also plays well. The Saints find a way to win this game at home, go on to 2-4, and give the Falcons their first loss of the season. The Dolphins at the Titans. It's not going to be a very high-scoring game. Look for Mariota to play well. I think the Titans win this game. Sankey has a good game. The Texans at the Jaguars, two, very low, below average teams. I'm going to take the Texans in this game. I just think they're going to win. Simple as that. They're going to open the running game with Foster. Look for them to win this game. Bengals at the Bills. Tyrod Taylor's out. Emmanuel starting. EJ's not bad. I'm still going to take the Bengals. They roll on to 6-0. Dalton has another good game. And Jeremy Hill gets a touchdown here. The Broncos at the Browns. This will be closer than we expect. The Broncos offense is struggling, man. But I'm going to take the Broncos in this one. Peyton Manning didn't even throw a touchdown last week against the Raiders. Charles Woodson played out of his mind, picking him off twice. Top 10 nominee with that second interception. That was probably the pick of the year so far. It was a valiant effort by the Raiders, but that Denver defense is just too powerful. Look for them to beat a less talented team in the Browns. They stay undefeated. The Bears at the Lions. Now the Bears are 2-3. The Lions are 0-5. Detroit gets its first win of the season here. I would say it's an upset, but it really isn't that big of an upset. Detroit is almost a little bit of a favorite in this game, but I will take Detroit in this game. They get their first win of the season. Stafford finally gets it together. The Redskins at the Jets. Here is a big upset. It could come back to haunt me, but I'm going to take the Washington Redskins. I don't know. It's risky, man, but I'm going to take the Redskins to win this game. I think Cousins and company show up. The Jets have just come off a little bit of a iffy. I wouldn't say iffy, but I don't think they're going to keep their success up. I think they have a great defense, but I think the Redskins win this game. Simple as that. And also, it's a bye week. I don't know if the Jets are going to show up this week. I think they struggle a bit. The Cardinals at the Steelers. I'm going to take the Cardinals. Wow, Michael Vick and the Steelers really pulled off a great win at San Diego on Monday night, but I'm going to take Carson Palmer and his boys to win this game. The Chiefs at the Vikings. Devastating blow for a lot of fantasy users who had Jamal Charles, torn ACL, out for the season. I'm going to take the Vikings in this game. I think Adrian Peterson runs wild. Teddy Bridgewater has a decent game. That defense is going to just completely shut down the Kansas City Chiefs. Next, we have the Panthers at the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks. The Panthers may be 4-0, and the Seahawks are 2-3, but Seattle in their home 12th man stadium, CenturyLink, they're way too difficult to beat. They're going to give the Panthers their first loss of the season. Lynch and Rawls, if Lynch plays, they'll rotate. I think Rawls can have a big game. Even though Kuechly's back, it will be a defensive game, but I think Russell Wilson shows up big this game. I could almost see the Seahawks winning this by 7, at least a touchdown, and it's usually pretty close between those two teams. Next, the Chargers at the Packers. No question here, taking the Packers. The Chargers choked. I think that was kind of the turning point of their season. They could have been 3-2, but no, they're 2-3, and I think they're just gonna fall off completely. Look for the Chargers to lose this game. The Packers win this game. Montgomery probably gets a touchdown as well. Ty Montgomery's playing very well recently. Next, we have the 1-4 Ravens at the 1-4 Niners. I'm going to take for the first time this season, yes, for all you Niner fans, I'm taking the 49ers to win this game. It's a bit of a surprise the way they've been playing, and I've been 4 for 5 on predictions with them, so I've been pretty solid picking them to lose every week, but I think they're going to figure it out. I think the main reason the Niners win this game, and the Ravens lose this game is because Forset's hurt, Elvis Dumerville's hurt, their secondary's banged up, and Steve Smith is probably out. With Steve Smith out, that's a game changer, man. Steve Smith is playing out of this world. So I think him not playing is going to have a significant impact. And because of that, I'm taking the Niners to win this game in a nail biter. It's going to be a lot of field goals on that Sunday afternoon at Levi Stadium. The Niners win this game. The Patriots at the Colts. Guess what? We're on Sunday Night Football. And I am going to take the New England Patriots. I do not think the Colts have it in them to win this game. I think Luck will probably be back and play this game. I think Andre Johnson catches a touchdown, but New England's playing out of this world. Good God, they can go 16-0 right now. They're looking great. So I don't know if the Colts can win this game. I think it'll be close. The Colts may pull this off, but I'm going to take the New England Patriots for now. And finally, we are at Monday Night Football, and I'm going to take in a 3-2 Giants at the 2-3 Eagles battle. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. Under the lights in Philadelphia, Sam Bradford has a big game. Demarco won't do that well. The Giants' rush defense is pretty good. But look for Sam Bradford to just light up that Giants secondary that's ranked dead last in the NFL. You know it's dead last when Kaepernick has a decent game. So they're definitely dead last in the NFL. Look for the Eagles with Sam Bradford and Jordan Matthews to air it out, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. The Eagles win this game. And now the fantasy starts of the week and sits of the week, also with a few sleepers. And by the way, guys like Brady and Adrian Peterson, they're automatic guys to start, so I'm not going to really talk about them. I'm going to talk about more under the radar guys. So at quarterback, start Sam Bradford. Like I said, they're going to toss it wild against the Giants. They're going to destroy that secondary. Bradford has a big game. Sit Alex Smith. He's without a running game, no Jamal Charles anymore. I think it's a given to sit him, but definitely sit him. They're at Minnesota. The Vikings defense is pretty solid. At running back, we got Eddie Lacy at home against the Chargers. Lacy hasn't been doing that great this season, but I think he's going to have a big game against the Chargers run defense that's adequate at best. Okay. And then to sit, this is a bit of a shocker because he leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns. Devonta Freeman, sit him. They're at the Saints. I think the Saints' rush defense will show up and show up big. I think in order for the Falcons to win this game, they got to pass. Julio's a bit banged up. Same with Leonard Hankerson. Roddy White hasn't showed up in a long time. I think the Saints win that game and shut down Devonta Freeman. Another running back to start, Arian Foster. He's at the Jaguars. That should be a given. They're going to probably lead the game by a lot. He's going to run the ball a lot. Foster's a great start. Sit Demarco Murray. Yes, the Giants' run defense is going to show up on Monday night. I am telling you right now, sit Demarco. It's a bit of a stretch, but he is not fitting in this offense. If anything, Ryan Matthews or Darren Sproles will get a touchdown. I don't see Demarco getting one. If he does, but it's just very unlikely. At wide receiver, start Jordan Matthews. Like I said, Bradford's going to throw him a lot. I'd say 2 touchdowns and 130 yards for Matthews. He has a career game on Monday night. The whole nation notices that Jordan Matthews, if you picked him up, was a good fantasy pickup. Sit Emmanuel Sanders. I said he'd have a big week against the Raiders last week, which he did. But Peyton Manning cannot throw touchdowns this year. I don't know what's up with him. Maybe it's a Kubiak offense or something. He's getting, I hate to say it, but Manning is pretty much washed up at this point. He's getting old. Sanders will not be a success this week against a good Browns defense. Another starter wide receiver, Kamar Aiken. The 49ers secondary is bottom 3 in the NFL. They're just terrible at covering wide receivers. They're not even that good at covering tight ends or running backs coming out of the flat. Their pass defense is just terrible. Neither is the run defense. It's not that good, but they will pride themselves on covering the tight end this week. So look for Kamar Aiken to have a bigger game. I say 100 yards and a touchdown, which is still pretty solid. Sit Julian Edelman, people. Sit him, okay? He is not going to have a good game. He's at the Colts. I think Rob Gronkowski takes over this game, but sit Julian Edelman. At tight end, Greg Olsen. He's at the Seahawks. They'll shut down the receivers for Carolina, which Carolina really doesn't have many guys except for really Ted Ginn. So look for Olsen to have a big game. Sit Jimmy Graham, same game. I think if Luke Kuechly covers Jimmy, I don't think Jimmy's going to have a big game. At kicker, start Phil Dawson. The 49ers' inability to get into the end zone has been shown throughout the season. They got lucky against the Vikings because they got him at a good timing. They would have probably lost that game 9 times out of 10, but they got him at the right timing. But start Phil Dawson. They're going to kick a lot of field goals. They're probably going to win that game 19-17. It's not going to be pretty. But the Niners are going to win that game strong with their defense and their kicking. Sit Hauschka. The Seahawks are going to score a lot of touchdowns. They're not going to need to kick field goals. Sit him. Defense to start. Start the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing the Chiefs without a running game. I say Alex Smith fumbles the ball for a touchdown or throws a pick six. Look for the Vikings to win this game and their defense to show up. Sit the Buffalo Bills defense. I don't think they're going to do well. Bench them, man. They're playing the Bengals, who are on fire. They're 5-0. They're going to probably get to 6-0. Look for the Bengals to win this game and Buffalo's defense to get torched. At sleepers, quarterback position, Blake Bortles. He's at home against the Texans. Yeah, the Jaguars may be, inefficient. They're not a very good team. But look for Bortles to toss at least 2 or 3 touchdowns on that Texans secondary. At running back, we got Bishop Sankey. He's very underrated against a Dolphins matchup that Ivory blew up against in London. Look for Sankey to have a big game. Also, Ronnie Hillman. The Browns have one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. Look for Hillman to have a big game. And finally, with the last sleeper, we are going to take Snead, the wide receiver from the New Orleans Saints on Thursday Night Football. He's going to show up. Start Willie Snead. Marcus Colston's out. Breeze has to depend on someone. Look for him to depend on him. He may target Brandon Coleman, another big wide receiver there, and use Spiller out of the flat, but Snead will get 100+ yards and a touchdown. So, folks, thank you. Tune in to this week and next week's predictions, but enjoy football. And for those of you who have your teams on bye week, that shouldn't stop you from watching football, right? Keep watching football and have a great weekend. Thank you.